Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Friday, September 4th, and this is your daily financial news. A lot of good news this morning, but before we get into that, first and foremost, for those that joined me yesterday evening to ask questions about our journey to financial freedom, thank you very much. I had a good time. I might do that again sporadically during the week. I find that the channel is growing. More and more people are asking about it. They may not have the history of Olivia and I's story. So anytime I could bring more people on to the channel to really tell our story, to help them see that a better financial future is possible, I want to try and do that. So maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month, we'll do that. That said, we are going to continue our 8 a.m. Pacific Saturday sessions. You're right. Jeffrey, I'm going to make the notice a little bit longer next time. You're right. It was short notice. It was a wild idea. What am I supposed to do? But anyways, we are going to do our Saturday 8 a.m. session tomorrow for questions. We're going to continue that. It will likely be live. I do like how we can go deeper. Sometimes I saw with the preceded questions, I didn't either A, understand it, or B, go deep enough to resolve the question at hand. So I like that interaction. The video quality is a little bit different because it's not my phone, it's my computer. I think the trade-off is worth it unless you all tell me different. I'm also here, the sound is better because I have the whole mic set up right to the fancy microphone. So we will do that. So if you want to seed any questions for tomorrow, that would be great. Again, wait till this is over and put the comments below. I will likely come with some seeded questions just so we can buy some time for people to join. So again, thank you for yesterday. If you didn't check it out, check it out. It's about an hour of questions, mostly about the book and our story, which I thought was helpful. I thought it introduced some more people to it. It really talked about why one rental at a time is a complement to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's kind of my purpose for writing it, frankly. But let's talk about today. Today was some, I'll call it great news. Everybody can argue, like I've talked about every economic statistic. Everybody can go, well, the number's not real because of this or that. It's the trend we're looking for, folks. This is, stop arguing a single data point. Any data point is that statistics based can be argued. So don't do it. Look at the trend. And what we saw today is the unemployment rate dropped to single digits. Frankly, dropped under 9%, dropped under 8.5%. It is now 8.4%. That was down from 10.1, which was down from 12.8, which was down from 15, something like that. You can't argue the trend. Roughly, I know some people are saying 50% drop. It's more like 60% drop, but it's great news. Great news. 1 million jobs added in the private sector. Yes, there's some noise with the census data, but let's take the number for what it is and go forward. What's the big question now? This number is good. But you got to realize, as I talked about, I think yesterday and the day before, is the number going to be so good that one side of the aisle digs in their heels and doesn't want to move forward on a stimulus? First and foremost, I think the argument for $600 in continuing unemployment is likely out the window. I think that number is kind of an emergency number that was well done and served its purpose. I think still going 600 to 0 is not the best option because we still have a segment of the economy that's not functioning on all cylinders. I think we've got the bridge halfway. There's still more to go. I think there's an argument for 400. I think there's an argument for 300. And again, I think if you take it through the end of the year, that gets us to hopefully a vaccine, and then it becomes the American freedom that allows you to take it or not, and then we just figure out what's going on. So, but we'll see. Next week's going to be a big deal. Next week's going to be a big deal. I think I don't know, Republican red side, whatever you want to call that, conservative side. I hate all these names. They're going to put up the skinny bill finally. I'm very disappointed that they didn't put it up early, let the American people see it, and then force the other side to say no. We shall see. I'm going to be interested to see what's in it. I keep hearing 600 billion. Unemployment, testing, schools, and some PPP money. Seems like the right stuff to me. I dare the other side to say no. And frankly, if the other side put it up, I would dare the other side to say no. I'm not a right or left, red or blue. I vote the person. And right now, all of them suck. That's just me. The one thing that clearly seems to be the biggest bone of contention is bailing out the states. There's obviously, hey, they're blue, they're Democratic, they're anarchist, whatever you want to call them, that silly talk track. But in reality, President Trump knows he's not going to win those states, so he sees no interest in helping them. That's how I see it anyways. And he's probably right. Do you think there's any chance a Republican wins California? Come on. Really? Nah, not going to happen. Think he's going to win Washington? Not going to happen. Going to win New York? Not going to happen. So I understand the argument, right? It helps him in other areas. It's all politics, which is very disappointing. I keep saying we are not Republicans or Democrats. We're Americans. Let's help Americans. Why help some in some zip codes and not others? Yeah, very disappointing. And as expected, this election is going to get worse and worse as we get to November. Some of the stuff I've seen on both sides is so grade school. Oh, I'm gonna stop watching TV other than sports, man. This is terrible stuff. The big question of the day is yesterday's fall in tech a tech wreck or a great rotation? Value versus growth. I think those are important questions. It'll be interesting to see where the market goes heading into a long weekend. I have often thought long weekends, especially in this environment, are where investors will get flat. A lot of investors will actually maybe taking today off already or doing a half day. So we may see a very choppy market. My guess is down. Probably at the open, it'll be up because, again, unemployment was really strong. People were goosing that, but I don't think that holds. I don't know where it's at. I haven't looked, but I'm guessing it doesn't hold. Now that I've said that, watch, I'll be wrong. But I think people want, I think the fast money, the Robinhood traders, I think they saw yesterday. And, David Portnoy's been saying for time and time again, stocks only go up, green hammer of death, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, Dave Portnoy lost $1 million yesterday. That's some real money. He's still up for the year, though. So let's, win some, lose some in his world. But again, I think some people weak hands are going to get flushed out. That was a vicious drop, right? Tesla, I think, was down 18% combined, probably down again today if the momentum trade kind of unwinds. And then again, also you have the value versus growth. We've been very oriented to the big six tech. They've been doing really well in a stay-at-home economy. Does that continue when we go forward? Man, I got to dust this room. Got to get the maids back. We haven't had maids in a while. But it is very interesting to see what is going on in the market. I think it is reminiscent of my .com days. And if you don't know, I did a video yesterday, the day before, talking about my painful lessons of earning hundreds of thousands of dollars and then losing it all. I created that thanks to a request from a subscriber, but it was also, I kept saying this market felt like back then, and I just thought I would put it down so you all can hear what I was going through. So be careful. Where the jobs are at, retail was up 248,000. That's good. The economy opening. Business services, 197,000. That's good. Leisure and hospitality, I got to tell you, that one surprised me. 174,000. I'm actually not sure what makes that up. Maybe there was an outlier that goosed that, but that is interesting. Then there's the COVID mortgage bailout improves. Again, what is going on? I've been telling you, I don't see these forbearances creating these short sale foreclosures that all these other new real estate investors are talking about. The math doesn't support it. We will have some cities that have foreclosures and short sales, yes. But that will have more to do with urban flight than COVID-related things. Most of the geographic space of the U.S., property values are up. So if you're in trouble, right, you lost your job, like my family suffered through when I was a teenager, what would happen? Well, you would sell it, and you would put some money in the bank, and you would move, and you'd get a new job. So I don't think the forbearance is going to be the big issue. Yes, it may spawn 200 to 500,000 new listings, some of those being foreclosures or short sales. But in the grand scheme of 1 month supply, 2 month supply, that stuff will be absorbed in a heartbeat. We are seeing the greatest turn from renters to owners in my 20 years of doing this. That is meaningful. That is investable, in my opinion. The other thing we are seeing when you look at kind of where the safety nets are and is home ownership a good thing? More and more numbers I'm reading about, as I'm sure you are. Home ownership is part of the K-shaped recovery. If you own, again, outside of the big cities, you're going to be on the winning side of the K. If you're renting, right now it's not a good thing. Again, lots of other variables make that up, but there is clearly some winning if you are a homeowner today with home prices rising. And then at the end of the day, this channel I've been tracking, I've been talking to you since the very first video. I want to know what's going on with the consumer and cost of capital, right? So let's talk about cost of capital. This unemployment number today, strong, at least headline strong. So what happens about interest rates if the unemployment continues on this kind of trend? I'm not calling it to, but you have to ask yourself why. You need to ask yourself what happens if. And if the job market continues this strength, and if by May or June we're back to 5% or less unemployment, interest rates will be higher. Count on it. Count on it. I'm not saying that will happen. You just have to ask yourself if. Then you have to ask about consumers. What's going on with consumers, right? Are they getting more nervous, or are they getting more excited, greedy? I think the economy is opening up by and large. I think they're feeling better. Yes, there's clearly pain. There's more people unemployed than you and I would like. But I think it's getting better. I think there's enough positive information, home sales, price appreciation, low interest rates. Manufacturing is, coming back. Feels pretty good. I mean, this is something I'm going to think about this weekend because it's changing real time. I look at my market every day. It's still really scarce. So enjoy your long weekend. We'll see what the stock market does today. My guess is people get flat. They kind of go to cash. At least the traders, the investors, obviously hold long term. I'm guessing the market's down. I should have checked before I talk because for all I know, it's up 1,000 points and I'm already wrong. But I think yesterday's move was violent. I think yesterday will make a lot of soft hands who never suffered a loss go, oh my God. And I say that because I was that person 20 years ago. So we'll see. All right, everybody, enjoy yourself. I'm going to try to do a couple of interviews for you today and continue the trend of creating 4 pieces of original content to continue my daily goals. Have a wonderful day. And remember, 8 a.m. tomorrow, ask me some questions. Leave them below.